mentioned the education system and the fact we're not producing enough engineers or scientists or doctors.
I don't think we are in the world, but
and
that's
we're
okay.
also not producing enough women in our own industry, particularly in technical roles. And how do we solve this issue of getting a different cohort of people through and just that diversity that we've started talking about?
It's interesting because I actually am hugely optimistic about this next generation coming through. Their ability to not see boundaries and differences is actually huge. So what do I mean by that? I mean, being a female, growing up in an era where I loved technology, even from being very small, you know, handing the screwdrivers over and pulling apart the lawnmower and trying to put it back together again with extra bits, and working out how electricity worked, not quite getting electrocuted, but almost. You know, all that that was odd for that period of time, or at least everyone I talked to thought it was odd. And the only reason I ended up in economics was because my economics professor in high school said, Robyn, you've got a gift for this, just go and do it. And my science teacher was like, okay, we'll just try again. You know, so it was sort of like an encouragement as opposed to anything else. So, but I really loved this side. I mean, I played around with biosciences and all of that sort of stuff, but ended up going into economics and converging the paths afterwards. And so for me, there weren't those role models. Today there are, and I actually am very optimistic with this next generation because they are all powerful. And it's not just the women, it's also the men in that generation because they've had mothers that have done what they've wanted to do from a career perspective and, you know, got on with it. So I believe, particularly in a country like Australia or the US or parts of Europe and, you know, even Asia, we'll see an increasing proportion of gender diversity over the next period of time without even thinking about it. So.